Hey everybody, this is Mike from Polar Heating and Air. I'm here with Alex, and we just thought because of what's going on right now, we'd give you a little tutorial on some of the products we have that might help you sleep a little easier. So, one of the things we're going to talk about is some of the packages we could put together to help you with their indoor air quality at your house. One of the things that I heard is that any virus can last on the surface up to 9 hours. And then also, I just heard like the coronavirus can actually last 3 hours in the air, like somebody sneezes and all that. So we're going to go through some of the stuff that may help you if you're concerned about that. The first thing we're going to talk about is a duct cleaning. So one of the things the EPA will do is, one of the things the EPA has said is that, you know, your indoor air, forget about worrying about viruses and flus, your indoor air is actually 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. Okay, so even if you're not worried about viruses, you don't have anyone with asthma in your house, it's not a bad idea to take your ducts clean every once 5 to 10 years, depending on what's going on in your house. So I'm going to explain a little bit about the duct cleaning and what we do, what's included, the couple different types of machine we have, and how it can be effective against bacteria, pollen, spores, viruses, and all that. So the first thing you need to know is whenever we do a duct cleaning is exactly what I'm saying. We clean the ducts. One of the things we do when we're done with the duct cleaning is we run a fogger. So we have this product here. It's called Envirocon. It's approved by the EPA, and we put it in a machine and it mists, and we run the blower motor on your furnace, and we run that for 30 minutes to circulate through all your ducts, and this alone will help to kill. It's a fungostat, active bacterial, and it's a deodorizer. So this can go through if you have mold, if you have viruses, if you have bacteria, if you have, you know, maybe someone was a heavy smoker, had the house before you. This can help inside the ducts when we use the fogger. So we have 2 machines and there's a fogger. So I'm going to let Alex here explain to you how this machine works and what we do with the fogger, and then we'll show you the other machine, explain to you how that works. And again, the fogger is the same whether we go with this machine or the negative air machine. So you want to quickly kind of go through it, Alex?
So essentially we have 2 different types of duct cleaning machines. This is the least invasive type. It actually goes inside the home. And we have a long hose here with extensions depending on how many rooms are in the house. And then we also have different attachments for the end that'll go inside the ductwork to clean out the ducts. Now this one will go through every room, through every duct. We'll work through the farthest duct away from the furnace towards the furnace to the closest. And once we're finished with that, we'll go through to the fogger machine and we'll fill it with the germicide that we use and mist through the return vents. And like Mike was saying, we run the blower motor on the furnace, and that'll pull the germicide through the system, kill whatever bacteria is inside the ductwork, and basically clean any bacteria that's inside there. That's very hard to see. So it's a simple machine. It's very quiet. And it doesn't take very long to get rid of all the pollen and build up inside of the ductwork. So do you want to show them the other machine?
So just real quickly, if I can add 2 things. One is that this basically spins, and it's not a vacuum, it's a super vacuum. So as this spins, it knocks up all the dust, and that sucks it aside. This has a huge industrial starch garbage bag with a HEPA filter, so we're not blowing it back into your house. And every time we do a duct cleaning, we change the bag, so we're not bringing someone else's product into your house. So this is basically the spinning head with the super filter, and then we run the fogger machine. So that being said, this is Rotobrush, standard industry use, been around forever, works great. If we can use it, we'll use it. A lot of times if you have smaller ducts, supplies and returns, and it's an issue getting that head in. There's another thing, it's called a negative air machine. So over on the other side here, I'm going to let Alex point that out, what we do with that. The fogger part of it is the same no matter which system we use. We have several foggers here.
So here we have the higher power option. It has a 20.5 horsepower engine, and this is going to run outside, exterior of the home, and it's a negative air pressure. So it'll basically suck whatever is in the ductwork out into a large container that we have here. Like Mike was saying previously, we'll change the filter every time that we come into your home, so there's not going to be any cross-contamination. The thing about this is we will cut into your ductwork to attach the hose, and then when we are finished, we'll put a patch over it like it never happened. And not only does the negative pressure suck all the contaminants out of the ductwork, we'll run this compressed air through the ductwork along with a brush to break any stuck, hard to release particles out.
So on this compressor, there's a ball on here and it shoots air out. So as we turn the compressor on, we put it through, the air knocks the dust around, and then this is a super duper industrial sized vacuum that sucks all the air out. So this is just, we were filling a tire, that's why we have this head on here now. But there's a ball on here, it's made so that the air shoots backwards. So as we put it in, the air kind of helps feed the ball in, but this is down in the base, this is connected in the basement, these are both outside, and anything that gets knocked up is getting sucked outside into a bag outside of your house. And that's basically the way this is, it's called negative air. What you're doing is, you're putting the vacuum on, so all your ducts, your supplies and returns, now we'll cover some of the returns, so we're only sucking from the one that we're running this through. We'll do each supply and each return with this, but that's how this system works. Both of them, highly effective, work great. You won't believe the before and after with your ducts when we're done with this. So that covers one of the options that we're offering, which is a thorough duct cleaning on all your supplies and returns, and a 30-minute of fogging your system and running your return air, your fan blower. Okay, so come on over here, Alex. So the next thing is, and we recommend this, and I just want to let everyone know, we're not gouging people. The price we're charging now is the same, is actually reduced price of what we were going to charge last year. We just figure, obviously we're a little slow right now, we're in between seasons. A lot of people are nervous about this. We're just offering this to our customers and to our new customers kind of as a service, just to keep our people busy. Nobody's going to Hawaii on you. At least we're not getting on a plane right now. So the other thing is then you have what's called an air filter, air filtration system that we also put on. And I have 3 different options here. In order for me, I'm going to go through this, but I'm going to have Jeff go over. He's going to show you a return duct with a filter that's on it installed, and then you'll understand the placement of where all these products go once I start talking about it.
Alright guys, so basically the way that your furnace works is the air moves in a circle. You have 2 different types of vents in your home, return vents and supply vents. The return vents suck air through the return duct into the furnace, up and out, and branch out to the supply vents through the house. Now on the return of the system, you have what is called the air filtration system. Here we have a basic Aprilaire filtration system with your filter, where you change it every so often. And this is basically where everything's located.
Okay, everyone. So just so you know, the way they rate filters is MERV factor, and that has to do with how small a particle they'll catch before it goes to the furnace. Now, you want to balance between catching particles but not choking off airflow to the furnace. I mean, technically, if you want a perfect filter, put a plywood board in there. But good luck, you got no airflow and your house isn't going to heat or cool, and you're going to need a new furnace right away. So it's a balance between getting the smallest particles possible with still maintaining the airflow to have your system work and not hurting your equipment. There's another video you'll see, there's a link to it, and it kind of explains this filter and says goodness and how much the surface area is so it doesn't get clogged up as much. So within the Aprilaire product that Alex just showed you, there's a couple of options for filters. The one that comes with that, so if you don't have that and you want us to install that comes with the MERV 13 filter, okay? What that means is that's a rating of what it will catch. So if all you're worried about is maybe asthma and allergies and that'll catch 99% of those type of particles on the filter. It's not quite small enough though, as far as the filtration, to catch viruses and that type of thing. So we can do one or two things. If you're an existing Polar customer, first off, thank you very much for your business. Secondly, instead of giving you a MERV 13, they now have these MERV 16 filters. So all we have to do, again, we'll put a new air cleaner in for you if you don't have one, but either way, we'll upgrade you to this 16 SEER air conditioner for a small price to upgrade it. If you have one instead of a 13 SEER, we'll upgrade you to the 16 SEER if you ask us for it, okay? I'm sorry, MERV 16 filter. And then here, you can see on the box, what does the MERV 16 filter get you? It gets you, protects your system against pollen, mold, bacteria, pet dander, and dust, vacuum and dustless, remove most common allergens, again, dust mites, dust, pet dander, odor reduction, vox, bacteria, mold spores, other things. Again, that as you get further down this list, that's the added goodness of this of the 16, the MERV 16, and then protects your system against pollen, mold spores, bacteria, pet dander, dust, dust mites, tobacco smoke, pollution, smog, and viruses. Removes up to 99% of asthma triggers. So this, and we're going to go with another, combined with a good duct cleaning, combined with a fogging of it with the actually germicide, along with another product we're going to show you. This is a product I have on my own personal house. The only thing about this is, other than the MERV 13 filter, this thing is so good at catching stuff, you got to change it out once every 6 months instead of once a year. So be aware of that. If you want, we can do it once we maybe get to more sane times. You go to a good solid 13 SEER if you're not that worried about it. Again, there's another product I'm going to suggest you add to the system as part of a package. Okay, so that's the filter. It's very simple. You can get a new one. We'll upgrade it to that filter. If you have a box filter, we can put a rail system in, slide it in, retrofit your old one, or we'll just, if you have the Aprilaire, we'll just put the better filter in for you that just became available. Okay, so that explains that. That's pretty simple. That's a media filter. Sometimes when you're at someone's house and you want the filter, maybe you're in a condo, maybe you're in a townhouse, and your furnace is in a little box, and the return is up against the water tank. Well, there's no way to get you that extra 6 to 7 inches we need to put that box filter type system, that Aprilaire 4210 or 3210 in. So that being said, and this is what happened in my mom's house. My mom's a little older, she has diabetes and she's doing well, thank you. But we didn't physically have the room to put that filter in. So what this is called, this is an electronic air cleaner. This fits in a 1-inch filter. So if we get to your house and you ask for that and it turns out we can't do it, this is a good option. And basically this will fit in, so any furnace that has a 1-inch filter, this will slip in. It's got a charcoal filter sandwiched in between, 2 cells. It's got a little bar on top that plugs in the outlet right by your furnace. Basically, it'll zap, and this does an incredible job of catching mold, pollen, viruses, all that. I don't think it's quite as good as the Aprilaire system, but it's a great alternative. If you don't have the space, you don't have the space. And again, combined with the duct cleaning and some of the other products I'm going to tell you, great alternative, and should help you sleep a little easier at night. Okay, and again, if we're coming in allergy season, you got itchy eyes and all that, that alone is worth doing it, whether you're paranoid about what's going on right now. Okay, so now the third option, this is the Mac Daddy Cadillac option. Okay, and this is an electronic air filter. Problem with this is there's 2 problems. One is a lot of people don't have the room for this because you need how many inches do you need, Jer, to install this between the supply and return?
Approximately 13.
So you need approximately 13 inches. So again, you got to have a wide open room, but on the other hand, we got to redo a lot of metal work to do it, and there's a lot more work, and this is more expensive. And this is basically those great filters, along with puts off it's electronic. So it, according to its rating, this one here, it basically says it'll eliminate 98% of airborne particles, including airborne particles as small as 0.1 microns. According to them, that's 10 times smaller than the coronavirus. So this thing, if you can fit it in, and you got a little more of a budget for it, this thing will give you your best filtration on the system. So again, if you're really like, you know, this is my family, people have allergies, they have asthma. If you're like me, if you've got 3 generations living in your house, you know, maybe not so worried about yourself or the kids, but you're worried if someone gets it, transfer it to your parents maybe, or your grandparents who might be living with you. This is the best solution. So again, duct cleaning, do the fogger spore sealing through all the ducts, make sure you're starting off with a clean slate, install this, and it'll do an incredible job for you, all right? We love this. The problem is, so it's obviously, for obvious reasons, it's a little more pricey than the other stuff I was talking about. And you need a lot of room wherever your furnace is in order to install it. So again, not a bad alternative. I mean, I have the room. I chose the other system with the 16 SEER, the duct cleaning, the spore seeding, and then there's one other product I'm going to talk about real quick to kind of finish off the holy trinity of home air treatment. Okay, so this is the Aprilaire electronic air cleaner. All those numbers are off their website. You can pull it up, you can look at it, and watch this video. We're going to have links, and we're going to have some specs and stuff you should be able to see. So that being said, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to explain one more system. We've already shot a video on it, it's on our website, but I'm going to talk about it now, just to go over it. Again, there's going to be links and literature and research you can do on your own. Don't trust me, go to the website, look at some of the stuff we supply. But again, this stuff, the whole house duct cleaning with the germicide, the MERV 16 air filter, this thing I'm about to show you, that's in my own personal house. Obviously I can have anything I want. So, and I do have room in my house, at least downstairs, I could go with this better filter. So, all right, so the next product I'm going to talk about, this is the iWave R. Have you ever installed one of these, Alex?
Yeah, I've installed quite a few.
So you could talk about, I'm going to have him talk about how this installs, and maybe even we could show you, we put one, this is our office we're shooting this in. We put one in our office, and again, this used to be this was a veterinary clinic, and I can't tell you how bad it smelled in here. We gutted it, redid everything down to the studs, but without this, it pretty much smells like cat urine in here. So we've had it and it works great. So just to go over it with you, basically what this thing does, how they claim it works, and again, we'll have a link to our video, is that they claim that it basically creates ions. So he's going to explain to you how it goes. There's a lot of products out there. There's UV lights, which, Jerry, weren't you saying that can affect your eyesight, the UV lights? If you're like 6 inches away from the coil, replace it, it loses like 40% efficiency. You look at the light, it's a nice blue light, hey, it must be working, but it's working less and less efficient, and up to 6 months you got to change it. And in our experience, we're lucky people to change a filter in 6 months, let alone a UV light that's going to cost them $300-400. So something we have that, I think it's got a 5-year warranty on it, but it'll actually last up to 20 years, is this iWave R. And one of the things I like about this is, like some of the other products, and actually we've tried them and they work, this will last for a long time. Don't have to worry about changing a bulb ever. And it creates, I believe it's either positively charged ions or negative charged ions. The nice part about that is that it creates no ozone. So I don't know if ozone is good or bad, you know. I don't think it's good, you know, but if I can get something that will last for 5 to 20 years, that is cheaper than some of the other type of lights you have out there, that is dependable and doesn't have ozone, well, that's what I'm gonna get. And again, it's my own personal house, it's here in the shop. We will give you whatever you want, you are the customer, but this is the system that we're recommending. So any of these you put together in a package, whatever is appropriate, it's gonna give you tremendous coverage in your house. And yes, wash your hands, yes, follow you know, good hygiene, everything you do, but this should make you sleep a little easier, you know. I mean, I got little kids and they sneeze and you think you got everything, and good luck with that. So basically, one of the things though, if you look here, on the sheet, and you're probably just going to be looking at the sheet and hearing me talking now. They had it tested by a laboratory, which was rated as an elite by the CDC. So they sent it to a real laboratory, not just did in their own in their backyard. A highly rated CDC laboratory. Nu-calgon makes this. They're a very legitimate, great corporation. Basically, staff reduced 96.2% of staff after 30 minutes. In this area, they contaminated with staff, ran this through the blower motor, and 96.2 after 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, it reduced 96% of MRSA, reduced 99.68% of E. coli, reduced 86% of colistrium, 69% of TB, again after 60 minutes. Airborne mold, 99.5% gone. So if you have mold in that growing in the house, if you have someone who's susceptible to asthma, if you have someone who has a respiratory condition, it got rid of the mold. And then also Legionella, 99.71%. So the way this works is, he's going to show you how it goes, but basically we install it inside your furnace, we put it in, you forget about it, hopefully you have us out for maintenance, we'll check it, make sure everything's okay. But this runs silently in the background, and it creates negative charge islands that attach to viruses and bacteria and pollen and smoke. And the worst part about this is it does such a good job on top of killing everything and reducing odor if you burn a steak or someone's smoking after it's run for a while. And we'll give you a link to the website where they show like a cigarette and they run it and they show how it clears up cigarette smoke and all that. But the worst thing about this is so good that not only does it do all that, but then everything else clumps up bigger and it makes your filter work even better. So the worst part of this is you might have to change your filter once every 4 months, because this is basically turbocharging your air cleaner. So I'll let Alex, he'll go open up the bottom of the furnace over there, and he'll give you a quick tutorial on how we install it, where we put it, and how it works. So without further ado.
Alright, so I've got the iWave with me here unboxed, and you can see here the furnace is opened up, and it rests in the lower blower cabinet in the furnace here. No matter what type of forced air system you have in the house, whether it be scorched air furnace or an air handler, if you have a boiler, we could put it in the blower compartment here, and it's got very strong neodymium magnets on the bottom. It can mount that way, or you could have it permanently screwed into the furnace. Now you see the indication light here telling you that it's on and working. It just takes a few simple electrical connections to install. And it also has self-cleaning tips that will run ever so often to clean itself. So there is zero maintenance, which is one of the other great benefits about this.
So there are other places to place that iWave are, but that is the optimal place. But there's alternatives with a lot of this stuff. We're just showing you the easiest optimal placement where you would put it. You know, obviously, hopefully we're professionals. We can improvise, adapt, and overcome if we need to do it based on the manufacturer's recognition. So thank you for the video. We're going to be putting together some package pricing. So obviously if we come out separately for all this stuff, there's one price because that's all we're doing. But if you wanted to do, like a great duct cleaning, a good air cleaner with the MERV 16 package and an iWave R, you'll have a regular price with a discount and then a package discount because you're doing more than one thing. Just to let you know, if it's an issue, if you're worried about finances with everything and don't want to spend a lot of money until things get a little more normal, we do offer financing, no interest for a year. I think the minimum is $1,000. I will double check on that. You can talk to the rep. So minimum payment, zero interest for a year, give you some time to pay for it and let things work its way out. But if you're really worried, don't wait. We'll work with you, and we want to do our best we can to take care of our customers. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you give us a call if you're interested in any of this stuff.